Ya tú sabes. hey, y'all thought I was just gonna sit here and be quiet. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. Bitch, I thought I forgot about y'all today. Confession time, I did. I got thrown off by the days. My bad. So I had to, regardless of what, get you this midweek medicine this week. I got to tie all of this stuff that I've been talking about together. So, hey, if you're friends with me, you know I am Miguel Brown, your mindset motivator, Mr. Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. Yeah, so let's get into it. Like I said, my bad. I didn't record the video earlier. I actually forgot today was Wednesday because I didn't go to work on Monday since I took the day off to be a part of the Men's Make a Difference Day in PG County. Well, myself and my brothers and I, we all went out and we spoke at a couple of different schools. All in all, we hit 4 schools. James Madison Middle School, shout out to them. My boy Cam for getting us on there. We were the keynote speakers there. That was amazing. We went to William Beans Elementary School in Suitland. That was awesome. We got to help the kids learn to tie ties and just talk about them about work, what it takes to work, to be productive in society. And we just had some fun with them. It was a good time. What else? We stopped off at Cora L. Rice, my son's school, and we also popped up at North Forestville Elementary. It was a really good day. We had a good time. It was actually tiring, boy. We kicked our boots up at the end of this thing, and we went to sleep. Right, caught a little nap watching ESPN. But yeah, so it threw me off. I forgot today was Wednesday. My sister Crystal was like, "Hey, we're the midweek medicine." I'm like, "What you mean? It's Tuesday." And then I thought about it. I'm like, "Oh, it's Wednesday." It's amazing how a slight change in what your normal routine is can throw your day and everything completely off. Is your week, everything is crazy. So anyway, I'm back. Let me give y'all a little dose medicine, right? So I've been talking to y'all a lot about, in actuality, as I thought about it, it's all been about change. If I have to say anything, my whole key goal here is to get you to be okay with change, to welcome change, right? To understand that change comes in many different forms. I talked to you guys about the type of people that you have around you. When I spoke about the you being a knife, a sharpener, or a steel, and you got people that's there to hold you accountable, but then you got people that's there meant to sharpen your edges and help you get to the next level. And I talked to you about what it looks like. As you're going through this process in life of changing and evolving, what it looks like to shift gears, to get to the next level, to keep leveling up, how things have to be in line at the right time and the right moment to get you to that next level. And then I talked to you guys about transitioning, the difference between change, like, you can change your socks, you can change your shoes, you can change the music you listen to, you can change the type of lotion you use, things like that. But then there's transition that actually takes some steps, and it's a process. And throughout that process, it might not feel good all the time while you're going through it because it's awkward, you off balance. You may even feel like you're going backwards instead of forward. But along that journey, the right things will happen at the right time, right? Things being in sync to show you that you are on the right path and you are going in the right direction. So now I want to I'm not going to wrap it up because I'm always going to talk about change, but I want to introduce a thing to you guys that will also continue to help you on your path of changing and evolution and getting to the next level. And that is just taking time and unplugging from everything. Do not disturb. Airplane mode, night mode, whatever you want to call it. The breakaway from everything. And during this time, I'm talking about you shut down people, you shut down definitely social media. Put that phone down. And I'm really gonna plug in on that one. You shut down if you're a spouse, husband or wife, you gotta shut the spouse out for a while. You gotta shut the kids out for a while. You got to disconnect from your normal routine in terms of your friends and things like that, because we're talking about change, and the only way change happens is if you do something different. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? That's just a fact all across the board. So in order to help that change, right, you got to do something different. So let's try a fast, so to speak, unplugging from everything. Talk to your spouse, your significant other, even your family, if you can, and your friends, and just let them know that it's gonna come a time, a day, or some hours where I'm gonna unplug from everything. You won't be able to get me. But during that time, you gotta be very intentional. You can't just be like, you know what, from 2 to 6, you're not gonna be able to get me. But all you doing is sitting on the couch watching, you catching up on your movies, you catching up on your Netflix, you watching ESPN. That's not intentional. That's the same thing you do all the time that ain't gonna do anything. That's still gonna, like, for example, you watching ESPN, watching the highlights from the previous games, or the conversation between two journalists, what they talking about, broadcast might fire you up, right? You going out, you take a minute, you say you taking a minute, but then you invite your friends to the crib and y'all still just drinking and whatever. That's not unplugging. That's not disconnect. That's not hitting that do not disturb button. This time has to be very intentional, because during this time you'll be able to get with your thoughts. You'll be able to actually reflect on you and the time that has gone past and the steps that you have been going through in this transitional phase, right? Like, you can actually reflect on what your life has been like. Well, not even your life, this particular moment in time and what's been happening to you. But you have to be intentional about what it is that you're doing and silence everything about you. My pastor talking about silence the noise a couple of weeks ago, and it's just disconnected from everything. More importantly, social media. See, I learned one thing. My wife and I, in order for us to have a fresh start and to start over, one thing that we decided to do was do a time period of celibacy. And throughout that, during that time period, I learned to redirect my energy, and I put it into speaking. I put it into the podcast. I put it into the videos. I put it into reading and my spirituality in terms of studying in my word more, praying more, meditation, right? Speaking with my boys in terms more about business and learning different things, and I've grown. I've been able to look in the mirror and see myself and see my faults and my weaknesses and things like that during that time period. And more importantly, between me and my wife, the communication has gotten better. We're thinking different. We're doing different, right? So if I can do the same thing with sexual energy, why can't I do that with just my mental energy, right? So put your phone down and disconnect from social media for a while. I think I'm going to actually start. This is a challenge. I'm probably going to start taking maybe a once a week out of a month and just disconnect from social media throughout that whole week, just to learn more about myself, to see how I've grown, to get back in my thoughts, to be more productive. I want to redirect the energy that I put into being on my phone for however many hours a day, watching what everybody else is doing and commenting and all that other stuff, and looking at some of the mess that's on there, unplugging from that and using that time to read more, to listen to different music, to meditate, to pray, to what else? To study different things. I'm going to redirect that energy and focus. So that's what you need to do. So it's one thing to be pushed into change in your life, but when you're making genuine changes in your life, you have to have something to fill the gaps as you remove things. Why not, as you remove some of the foul and negative in your life, you put something positive into it? Put your phone down for a minute. I'm not saying nothing good comes from social media. It does, but we spend a lot of time. To see what we do is we're on our phone all day, right? And we're taking in everybody else's mindset and thoughts and all kind of things because we seeing what you thinking about relationships. So what you thinking about what happened in the news, how you feel about that food, or how you feel about the dude that just dumped you, why you trying to be married, what's in the people hating on you or hating on other people or the violence. We taking all of this in. You think that that's not playing a part on you? Think how much sleep you lose. How many of us get up and go right to your phone and be looking at social media? I'm a victim of that. I do it, but I've trained myself that when I get up, that's not the first thing I do. The first thing that I do is I go to my Bible app. For somebody else, it might be not to pick up your phone, but to pick up a book, the Bible, or whatever you're reading, or whatever the scenario may be. Do something different. Train yourself that we've created our phone and social media to be a habit for us. Unplug from that. If you can't do a week solid straight, start off small. Cut your time back. All right, at 8 o'clock at night, every night for a week straight, I'm not gonna be on. I'm putting the phone there. Yeah, and then up that ante. Okay, so now instead of 8, like a fast. Instead of 8, I'm gonna start at 6, and then I'm gonna start at 5. And next thing you know, you got a whole day going past. So 2, 3 days, 4, 7 days gonna pass, and you not done without it. I guarantee you, if you take this time just to unplug and disconnect. And I'm not just talking about social media, but I'm talking about everything. Husbands, allow your wives time to disconnect from the wife-mother role. And vice versa. Wives, allow your husband to disconnect from the father-husband role. Like, let that happen. Give each other that time. And just be, if you got teenagers, let them have a moment and just disconnect. Like I said, back to the social media and the phone thing. Instead of taking in all of these different mindsets and all of these things going on, put it down. Because how many of you comment on a good post and now you waiting for people to comment on your comment so that you can engage and have a conversation? Or how you put a post up or you put a video up and you're waiting for people to respond just so you can engage. I'm guilty of that. Y'all see me, I put videos up. I'm always checking to see who looking and who comment and everything. Sometimes I guarantee you'll put a post up and don't nobody comment or anything because you might have put it up at the wrong time and people miss it. You comment on your own post just to get people going. So the people that did like it, they see what you said and hoping to spark up a conversation. That's too much work. Put that down and redirect that energy somewhere else. Put it somewhere else. Put it back into you. Center yourself. Reflect on you. During this time of reflection, right? Whatever you choose to do. Like, for example, let's stick with meditation. I've been doing that lately, right? Now I'm not a ninja in it, but like maybe just a couple of minutes I'm able to do it a day to hear my thoughts, to see where my focus is, to see, just to self-reflect. Right, to see where I can get better, I can do better, just in all areas of my life, for myself, for my wife, for my kids, for the guys that I work with on the Root Cause podcast, and more importantly, to prepare myself on a mental and a spiritual level, so that when I get a call saying, "Hey Miguel, we want you to come speak here," or "We want you to come host this or MC that," I'm ready. Take a moment. Hit the airplane mode. Hit that do not disturb button. Put the little sign on your door to just disconnect. It's necessary. In the time that we are in, it's necessary. Clear your mind. Get out all the negative. Get out, not only because you got your own negative thoughts, why not take a moment to clear out all of the other negative thoughts that come from other people because of the time that you spend reading different posts and looking at different videos, right? And you taking all of this